So Gordon, Downroyal is on the horizon, and for many jump fans that signals the start of a new national hunt season. But the reality is this season is already half over, and you've had a really good summer. 61 winners in Ireland, £1.35 million in prize money, but you're a brilliant Galway, and that's a huge help to the start of any season.
It is, yeah, to be honest. You know, if you can bag one of the big ones in Galway, it's you're halfway through the season, as you said nearly already. Like, if you win one of them, let alone two of them, like, there's probably 3-4 trainers can pass you in prize money for the year at that stage, you know. So to win the two of them this year was massive. But as you said, like, Downroyal's only around the corner, and we are halfway through the season, yeah.
And that first half of the season, like, for a business, you've lots of horses here. Not every horse is a winter horse. Those summer months are important to maximise the ability of every horse you have. Do you think you had a good summer?
Yeah, I think we had a good summer. Look, as you said, like, you know, there's a lot of wages to be paid. You know, the whole place has to keep going. So, you know, you do have to have your horses in during the summer to keep the whole place going. But yeah, look, we couldn't be happier how the summer went. You know, obviously to win the hurdle and the plate was unbelievable. Yeah.
And you capped it off with a magic day in New Jersey. You bring 6 horses to America. You train 5 winners. You must consider that a fair achievement.
Yeah, look, to be honest, we've been lucky enough to train plenty of winners in America over the last 10 years. Won the American Grand National, I think it was 18 or 19 maybe we won it, but with jury duty. Great, but you know, to go over and train 5 on the day was just there's only 5 jump races on the card, and to win all 5 on the day was a bit surreal, to be honest. You go over and you think the first one wins, and you kind of think, well, we have a winner now, bit of pressure off. Because it is pressure when you go over, no matter what anyone thinks. It's not just as easy as going over and turning up and winning, and then second one wins, third one wins. This is going too good to be true now. The one you win to win, it won't happen. But yeah, I mean, what a day.
It was a wonderful day, but I suppose people, real mathematicians watching this will tell me I'm wrong, but when you work it all out and you put 6 horses on a box here in Cullentra to go to New Jersey, by the time they get back, you're well into 6 figures. You won just over 400,000 in prize money. You're having 100 grand in a 4-to-1 shot.
Yeah, it is a big risk when you put it like that, and people don't realise that. You know, everyone says, you know, it's easy, win out there, go there, but to get the owners to go and actually put their hand in their pocket and pay for it, like them, they're brave people to do that, because it's not cheap to go out there.
And they're sporting people, and obviously Cheltenham would have been last weekend, and you'll have had horses there. You didn't probably send as many horses to the UK this summer as you have done in the past?
No, just look, to be honest, obviously you're trying to get as many winners in Ireland as you can, and I think just the expense has just gone, it's gotten a lot dearer to travel to the UK. Obviously if you pick out the right race with the prize money, it's well worthwhile going, but just going to the normal meetings, it's just the sums aren't working out like they used to, so it's harder to do it. Is
that just general inflation, or is that all the extra paperwork and bits and pieces that have come with Brexit?
I think the extra paperwork is massive. You know, the unhidden cost that people don't even realise, vets coming in, vets going out. You know, just everything has gone up, so it is.
Well, it won't cost you anything to go to the north next Friday. You can drive across the border there for free. But Downroyal, it's always been a meeting that you've targeted, that you tend to have horses ready to go first, big prize money, good races, and you've brought some of your stars there. What are we looking forward to this weekend? What are we sending? Maiden hurdlers first. Maiden
hurdlers, actually, we're working a few of them over the next day or two, and we know who we go. You know, you've Calypso's chance, you know, he could Lance. There's 7 or 8 to pick out from, so.
But you've rattled out 2 there straight away. So Calypso chance, he can dance. There's a 2.6 on the Friday, 2 mile on the Saturday.
They could be one for either one of them, you know. You know, a few nice bumper horses that were bought in point to points. Again, we're actually just, as I told you earlier on, we're working a few of them today and tomorrow, and that'll tell the tale. Kind of an idea with the novice chasers, what I'm going to do, the big race, the second season novice. But yeah, look, it's a meeting that's been lucky to me. I think there's a good bit of rain to come in, so it should be beautiful. But I've been lucky going to the north from when I was a young lad riding Point to Points, I always like going up there, and it's been lucky for me. So, and it's only an hour and a half up the road.
That's the mean, when you're this side of Dublin, it is only up the road, but it's a meeting that you target. That's obviously been lucky for you. Your horses come back out of it in good shape and can progress through the year. But if we start with Calypso Chance, where could you see him ending up? What kind of horse do you think he is?
I'd say you could see him, like, I could actually start him off over 2, but you could actually see him stepping right out in distance. You know, he was a bumper winner, dual bumper winner last year. It wouldn't shock me if you saw him. You could see him at going to 3 miles, that type of horse. But listen, we'll get the next couple of days out of the way and see where we are. As you know, yeah.
But I would take that as a complete positive. So you think he's the speed to go 2 miles, yet he's going to have the stamina to go 3.
Yeah.
So he's bang at the top of your pecking order.
Well, he's so straightforward, and there's no complications. Like, as you always say, like, you know, a good horse will win over any trip, you know.
Oh God, they will. The biggest, well, not say the biggest race of the weekend, but for pointers, will definitely be novice races for you. And you had some really good novice hurdlers last year, and one really good condition hurdler who was going chasing. But brighter days ahead, if we start in our right, she might start in the north, she might not, she might go to Navan. But how excited are you about going chasing with her?
I'm really looking forward to be honest. You know, she was always bought to be a chaser. We kept her over hurdles probably a season longer than normal, but listen, at the second half of the season,
probably rolling the dice, wasn't it?
It was. I mean, look, what she done in Leopardstown was unbelievable. Look, the second half didn't work out, but I don't regret it. She's strong now, she looks good, she's schooling well, so we're looking forward to starting her off.
And she has any options, doesn't she? Like, distance wise, she's not confined to anything.
No.
She can tell you as she progresses through a season where you're going to go with her. But in your own mind, when you sit down and you dream about plans, they don't often come to fruition. But could you see her ending up at Arkle, RSA, or Mare's Chase even?
Listen, you as you say, it's all up in the air. She on one of them 3 races you mentioned could be a possibility. Sitting here now, if the RSA would probably do one race, I'd say.
I suppose you better call it by its right name, and I put call it by its wrong name.
Yeah,
it's Brown Advisory, isn't it?
The Brown Advisory now, yeah, sorry, the race has changed name every year. You know, the 3 mile race, or a bit 3 miles and a bit, that's probably the race I probably at the moment I wouldn't see her going for. I don't think she's that slow. Look, we'll get the first half of the season out of the way, and then we'll make plans from there. She's been to Cheltenham twice, and it hasn't worked for her, so we'll see.
Would that worry you? You say she's been twice and she hasn't won. I, as an outsider, can see 2 very valid excuses, and it wouldn't cross my mind, but it's obviously on you. No,
look, to me, look, you have to think of everything. If you don't lie in bed at night thinking about every single angle with a horse, which I do, whether it's up or down or left or right, if you don't think about it, you're not doing your job. But I'm a little bit like you now, to be honest. Them sort of things don't really worry me. Listen, if we can get her back there in one piece, she'll be okay. Yeah, I'd be looking for the positives, not the negatives. The Yellow Clay was a novice hurdler last season, Gordon, that I assume is going chasing. He surely could be a Brown Advisory horse when all is said and done. He's going to stay hurdling. Is he? He is, yeah. Going to keep him hurdling. You know, he's not an old horse. What distance? I'd say you could see him stepping up the tree at some stage. So what's that mean for Teahupoo and the Wall Park? The Wall Park is going chasing. Right. And Teahupoo, we minded him all year and we got bet in Cheltenham, so I prefer to have two goals at them one. 2 bites of the cherry. Yeah. Look, I'd say we might start him off. He could start off over 2 miles, the Yellow Clay, in Down Royal. Yeah. Or in the second season, obviously. Yeah. Yeah. Or I could wait for a couple of weeks and go to Navan for the bine. Yeah. It'd be one or the other he'd start off on, and I could see him maybe stepping up to 3 miles at Christmas. I have heard you saying you might send Teahupoo to Ascot, so that would leave the Yellow Clay at Leopardstown. There is a diverse programme either side of the Irish Sea, so you can have 2 horses in that division and keep them apart. Yeah, well, I just think, like, you know, last year we went to Fairy House with Teahupoo and the ground probably was drier than what we wanted on the day, and, you know, he's not getting any younger, so I'd say he wants the maximum trip, so it wouldn't shock me if the ground wasn't on the softer side that he ended up in Ascot, Teahupoo. You know, we've Irish Point coming back after a setback, and hopefully the Yellow Clay maybe could be there maybe at Christmas for the 3 mile. Would you ever think of going to war more often with Teahupoo, or are you
set on his best fresh?
I would.
You would?
I would, yeah. Look at Brian and Rob, his owners and the whole team. Look, they're keen that he runs well fresh. He does run well fresh, but I wouldn't be held set on saying he needs that much time between his runs. I think we wrapped him up a little bit too much for the last couple of years, and you might see a bit more of him this year if I get my way.
It's only a plus for all of us. Obviously, Wallpark's going chasing. He was I could say a revelation, but he was some improver last season.
He was, but he probably just got to a level that he was.
It's a pretty high level.
It was, but he just probably was half a stone off being, the Teahupoo or that type of horse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So look, he was bought to be a chaser. He looks like a big staying type. So I think we're going to go chasing with him. Right.
So we've ruled Yellow Clay out and novice chasing. I'm going to assume then that Romeo Coolio does go chasing.
Definitely. Yeah. He's always jumped his hurdles like he wants a fence. He came from the point-to-point field, so he's well schooled. I think he could be.
He's a good jumper.
He's class, yeah. He's class.
Do you think fences could make him a faster horse?
I hope so. I think you're hoping, with these horses you're always looking for where you can find a couple of pound improvement from year to year. And there's no doubt he was a couple of pound off the real top novice hurdlers last year. But I'm hoping that a fence can bring it out in him, and I think it will.
Being a top novice hurdler, jumping often isn't an attribute to you. There's only 8 hurdles in any of the top novice hurdles. There's 12, 13 fences. Do you think you could keep him at 2 miles going chasing if jumping does bring a bit more speed into him?
I think we could keep him at 2 miles if we wanted, but I'm not worried about stepping him up and trip at all either. Look, we'll see what he tells us as we go along. If he starts off if we go to down Royal, it's 2-3.5, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, and then there's a beginners back in Navan then a couple of weeks later, which
on that good weekend where you have 13 or 14 winners.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I wish.
There's a 2 mile there, isn't it?
Yeah. So I'd be shocked if Romeo doesn't go on one of them and Brighter Days in the other.
That's the 2 good starting points for either of them. You also have Wingmen and Honesty Policy were 2 more good novice hurdlers.
Yeah.
Plans with them?
Honesty Policy just up in the air still what road we go with him. A very well named horse. Like one thing is honest. Like he's not flashy at home, but when he gets to the track, he drops his head and all he wants to do is win. And for me, I love that in a horse. He's a good horse. He won the Grade 1 last year. Wingman probably is not just as straightforward. He's hard enough on himself. Look, whether he's a graded horse over fences or not, I'm not sure. But he could end up being a good staying handicap chase down the road somewhere.
He'd take a bit of following all the same.
He would, yeah, and he'd touch wood, he does jump well.
He would be that. And then there's their horses with the future all ahead of them. There's another band of horses coming out of novice chasing, stepping up. So you say the likes of a Better Days Ahead.
Yeah.
Where would you like to start him?
He's in Down Royal. We could see what way the ground is. We see where the ground is and start him off there. But I think if 5 or 6 horses entered in Down Royal, and a lot's going to depend on the next couple of days how to work and what way the ground is. He could go there. Stellar Story could go there if all the rain comes. Found a 50. There's an interesting horse.
Yeah, he is an interesting horse who has won it Down Royal.
Yeah.
Would you look, say Stellar Story, Better Days Ahead, would you look at either and think their marks could win us a Tri-Town, their mark could win us a Gold Cup in Newbury? Would you look at either of them that way, or would you be thinking I'll start them in second season novices or in condition company?
Yeah, Better Days Ahead. Like he's a horse could be a Grand National horse. So we've got to decide what road we go. Do you go and run him in the Grade 1, and if you go close in that, well, your Grand National could be going out the window. Stellar Story is a horse that, like, if you got a bottomless Gold Cup, he could run well in a Gold Cup,
Yeah.
But he needed to be very soft. So, yeah, look, as you say, you've got to box clever over the next couple of weeks and see. Jiggins sound like to run in the graded races, so that's not always. It doesn't always suit when you come to the Grand Nationals that sort of ways, because you might have shown your hand plenty, but listen, it works plenty for them, so we won't knock it.
Found a 50, as you said, is an interesting horse. Could you go a bit further with him?
Well, that's why when you mentioned Down Royal, I said he is an interesting horse, because we started off last year over 2, and I think he won. Is the Craddockstown in Navan? Is it?
No,
the Fortrea, sorry.
The Fortrea, yeah.
The Fortrea in Navan.
Touch Me Not won the Craddockstown.
Yeah, and he ended up probably wanting further. At come the end of the season, going 2.5 miles, where we brought out more improvement in him. You know, when he won the Grade 2 at the end of the season, where I'm sort of thinking, like, you're always looking, as you say, for an angle. If you stepped him out to 3 miles, could there be more improvement? That's sort of my thinking, and it wouldn't shock me now if you saw him lining up and down rail.
He kind of strikes you as a horse who's only fast in his head.
Yeah, he's not as quick. He's quicker going to the start, I think, than he's coming back. You know what I mean? But he's got a lot more relaxed. His jumping's very good. He runs well fresh. Listen, I have to speak to Noel and Valerie. Bective stood and see, but they love Down Royal and they love Navan. Obviously, they're from Navan, so if we go to Down Royal, it's going to be the big one. And if you go to Navan, you're coming back to 2 miles, which I'm a little bit worried about at the moment myself.
Then you chuck in something like Western Fold, who's fit as a flea, Crow Park, who's had a run and punches down.
Yeah.
And there's every opportunity you're going to be really well represented in Down Royal.
There's no doubt, yeah. We could have 3 or 4 runners in the race.
Say Crow Park, would you be thinking the Grade 1 with him after having a run, or would you be willing to pitch him in against a Stellar Story who won't have had a run?
Ground probably will be a big key to what I run. Crow Park run in the second season novice over 2.5, and you know he could take a bit of pegging back over 2.5 with a run underneath him. Western Fold, he could run both races. If he runs in either, if the ground turns up good, I'd say we'll give him a go at the big one. You know, he's gone from strength to strength. I don't know what's left underneath the bonnet. He's not a fancy horse at home. He's not big, but he can jump and he can gallop. You know. And
he's still a novice, so you have all the novice chases. He could be Drinmore, Feltham, even at Kempton.
Yeah, I'd say if the ground stayed like it is and the rain didn't come, you could see him maybe going to Down Royal. You could see him going to the Drinmore, then maybe having a little break. But if the rain comes, he'll have a break. He's not the same horse on slower ground. Now, I was even worried in Gordon the last day he won, and we said we'd roll the dice and we'd find out. So he's not complete good ground horse, but if he come up on the softer side, I'd say you'll see him going on Soldiers.
What about Gerri Colombe then?
He's back in, cantering away, looks well. It's not going to be easy. He's probably not going to be ready to run sort of till Christmas or after Christmas time, but I think his Grade 1 penalty is gone now, so we could start him off.
Tremor, New Year's Day, no Grade 1 penalty.
You know, you could start him off in that type of race. Yeah. That's where you could see him starting off that type of race. Whether he's going to be a Gold Cup horse or not, I don't know now. You know, you got all the young guns coming along. But he looks brilliant. He's back cantering away, and I suppose the next month will tell his tale. Could he be an English national horse?
Yeah, he'd be an interesting one in an English national, so he would, Gerri Colombe. What about then, you do where I do associate you, I think Tri-Town, Gordon will have an army, you think Tyes stays, Paddy Power. When you look at last year's novices and you look down through different horses, are you looking at a Favre de Chandu, a Will Do? Do you have any one in particular that you're still thinking that could be ahead of the handicapper?
I always think the type of horse that wins them races are the horses that maybe get placed in the Grade 2s and 3s the year before. You know, it's not, and they end up getting into a handicap off a nice weight. So listen, we're hoping we have a few of them there. As I said, we're just getting going now, but I think that's the type of horse you need to win a Tri-Town or a Paddy Power. I think today, if the horse winning them, you know that there are 2 or 3 seasons on the go, it's getting harder and harder. You know, I think it's the novice with not as many runs wins them type of races.
On the way up rather than one on the way down as such. One horse who is still on the way up, or she looks to be still on the way up, is Wodhooh.
Yeah.
She's an interesting one to fit in this year with Yellow Clay staying over hurdles. Obviously Better Days Ahead even has gone chasing. 2 miles is probably a bit sharp for her, but where do you see her fitting in?
I could see her starting off in Fairhays.
Hatton's Grace.
Yeah. She's a good mare, like.
She is.
Yeah, she's only been meeting once, by arguably the best mare in training, you know. You know, I think she beat us 2 or 3 lengths in the day, or maybe less. You know, I think our mare, she looks very strong this year. She's done well in her holidays. Again, she's unassuming, doesn't show anything at home, but she's only been beaten once since we got her, and you know, she got bet by a hell of a good horse. I think it was her first run in a Grade 1. Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Martin Point, handicaps, didn't she?
Yeah, I think it was her first run in a Grade 1. Yeah, I think I'm hoping that she's going to be, you know, our flag bearer and all them kind of good middle distance races this year, you know. Yeah.
So she went to Christmas time. There's not really a race for her Christmas, is there?
Well, if she goes,
if
she goes for the, I suppose if she goes for the Hamptons Grace and wins, great. We've won a Grade 1. We know where we're going. But if she doesn't, she still can run in them Grade 2s and 3s without big penalties, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's one I'm really looking forward to. I think she could win us big places this year.
Good to hear. We've mentioned Calypso Chance, but there was more than just Calypso Chance in bumpers last year. He Can't Dance, Cocktail Brute, Classic Creek. Was there any more of your own that caught your eye?
There's only a mountain of them out there. But look, as I said, like we're a little bit behind ourselves this year, to be honest.
Do you think that's a bad thing?
No. I think
Is that by design?
Yes and no. We redone the gallops and it held me up a little bit longer, but we said this year we'll just take a little bit pull a little bit longer. So I am a little bit behind myself, but I don't think it's a bad thing, because I think even this year going into Galway and that sort of thing, I've earmarked 2 or 3 horses from 4 or 5 months out and says, we're going here with him, we're going here with him. Where before I used to come out the gates and it's all I think, the further I can get in front of the championship, the better. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But kind of the older you get, maybe a little bit wiser you get. You know, I used to go to bed every night and all I think about was tomorrow, and you know, how far are we in front? You know, what races are coming. But like, I still think about it every day. Like, but like, you kind of get a little bit wiser. You know, we're unfortunate that we're born in the same area as probably the greatest trainer of all times. But listen, it's great to be around at the same time as him.
The only good news for you is you weren't born in the same era as him. You're training in the same era as him, but you're an awful lot younger than him.
I think 25 or 6 years, yeah. But listen, it's great. Listen, it's a great game. We're all on each other's doorsteps, and listen, I love every bit of it.
There's a couple of new ones, God only knows how many new ones, but different horses that even jumped on my radar as pointers. Grange Clare Park?
Yeah, lovely horse. Anything he's doing at home, we like him. He looked very impressive as point to point. Probably need a little bit of an ease on the ground to start him off, but anything he does in the gallop at home to catch your eye, everything goes by you, but he hasn't been away, only just doing standard routine canters, but we like what we see so far.
Lemmy Caution?
Yeah, he's a nice big horse that won for Colombe down in Ben Hill's place. I can't think of the name of it. I know it. I was at the point the same day. Monks Grange, yeah. Look, he looked very impressive on the day. We ended up buying him at the sales. Again, gorgeous big horse. So again, he's doing nothing wrong. But you know, these big pointers, they all come
with huge reputations.
With big reputations, yeah. With big reputations, and they don't all work out. But anything we've no disappointments yet. But if you have a disappointment at this stage, we're in trouble. But we think we have a nice bunch. We've reinvested in a lot of horses, so hopefully we can have a good season.
With no limit?
Yeah, again.
In the same boat, you know, tell me the same thing.
Yeah, look, to be honest, money. If I tell you one thing about another, there's none of them sticking their head out too much saying I'm X, Y, or Z, but there's none of them dropping off, which is more important. And
it is reinvestment. Did you make a conscious decision this year, say, having had outside of Wodhooh, like what was your top class horse in the spring? Did you have to think, I need to reinvest here, I need to get going again? Did you make more of a decision this year? Well, every year we try and buy as many as we can, like, and we do. It's something I always work very hard is at the sales, but this year I suppose we got a few blows. I mean, you know, we lost Gerri Colombe, we lost Irish Point, we lost 3 or 4 of our sort of flag bearers, just got little setbacks. They're hard horses to find.
At the wrong time of the year.
Yeah.
We went to Cheltenham, we hit the crossbar.
You broke the crossbar.
You know what I mean? Like we I don't know, with 5 or 6 seconds, you know, on another week, half of them went in, you had a brilliant week.
Yeah.
We just hit the crossbar with so many horses, like that was a long week. But thankfully Wodhooh got us out in trouble at the last race. But but that's the game we're in. It's margins, it's...
Did that play into you then accepting being a little bit behind at this time of this season compared to last year?
No, not really, because I believe I had my horse in Cheltenham in good form. Things just didn't bounce right for us. You know, we'd seconds, thirds. The horses weren't falling out of the screen. They were running well, like, you know.
Yeah.
But we just weren't getting the winners. The ball wasn't bouncing right for us. But you know, again, I suppose a couple of years ago, if that was happening to you, you'd be pulling the hair out of your head. But listen, you have to keep smiling and be gracious, don't you?
You got to try anyway. Is that age, experience, a combination of both, or more belief in yourself that you'll get it right anyway?
I wouldn't say I'm a cocky person, but I do.
No, you're not.
No, but I do.
I tell you a bit of it.
Yeah, I know, but I do have belief in myself that I can get the job right if I have the horse on the day. I think getting a bit older, you get a few blows, you come back a bit stronger. Yeah, I mean, like, every day is a learning day, isn't it? But you know, we've had our ups and downs, and you know, every time you come back stronger, and you probably look at life a little bit different. You look at people a little bit different, and yeah, it's great.
Every time I come back here, it's different. It's bigger. It looks better. It's hard to look better. It's bigger, but it looks like the ambition is there. What have you changed? What have you added to Cullentra this year? I see loads of change, but I haven't been here in 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, look, at every year I try and do something different. You know, new school and grounds, put new trotting rings in for the horses. You know, we obviously maintaining the gallops. You know, new wash bays, all different things. I mean, I'm a little bit like a child in a toy shop. When I go to someone else's yard and I see something, I get a little bit jealous and think,
I have to have that.
Yeah, well, I have to have that. And I come home and the first thing I want to do is straight away, I want it done tomorrow. But you know, sometimes Conor, my accountant, has been giving out to me, telling me I have to take a pull sometimes. But if I get it into my head, like the only thing I care about is the horses. Like, they're number one. Fancy lifestyle doesn't bother me. Listen, I like like we all do. But I am a little bit like a child like that. I always want to keep improving the yard and keep doing something. But I think if you sit still, it'll pass you by.
When you go to Downride on Friday, will you be excited or nervous?
I'll be. If you don't have the butterflies in your stomach, I don't think we should be doing it. To be honest, when I go into Downride and park the car up and walk in, you do kind of think, right, here we go. So yeah, I do be looking forward to it. So yeah, I can't wait. Good meeting, great track. Hopefully we get the rain. The ground is safe, and on we go.
Wodhooh, found a 50. They're the two from talking to you that are exciting you. Give us 3 more.
3 more. You have me in the spot now.
Better days ahead.
Better days ahead.
No, brighter days ahead.
Listen, brighter days ahead. Romeo Coolio. There's a nice juvenile there, Monge too, who.
Where did he come from?
She came out of France, so she won in Compiègne, yeah. We like what she's shown us, but again, she asked me in grass, she asked me in a way. Look, they're just 3, and you know, as you know, the ones that have to put their head up are normally the ones that are always the better.